I guess we can call this session 2 of Spilling the Tea in Studio D
That's right.
at Centerpoint in the Agri area. And guest number 2, Mark Crawley. And Mark, which part of the Agri piece of the puzzle are you involved with?
I'm over the food processing center that we
Okay.
have here at Centerpoint.
Gotcha.
And I also live on the school farm.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
over
wow.
over that side.
Okay. So when you say live, you actually live at the farm?
Yes,
huh?
sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
This is my 7th year.
Seventh
here
year.
at Centerpoint. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So let's tell us a little bit about you. Maybe your background, where you're from, and how you got involved in education and the Agri piece.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm actually from Gurdon, Arkansas.
Okay,
Graduated there in 1998. In high school, I got involved in FFA and
Gotcha.
Agri. And
Uh-huh.
I didn't live on a farm. Didn't have a
Yeah,
background of that.
right.
Really. My family did have custom slaughterhouses.
Right.
But I didn't have the experience of a farm.
Right.
But I got involved in ag and really fell in love with it.
Who
And,
was your ag teacher? then?
Stacy Stone.
Okay.
ag
Gotcha.
teacher at Gurdon.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I ended up after that going to college and then going and getting a job for a while. You know, 'cause you want to go
Right.
make money, but then I
Yeah.
ended up going back to college and finishing my ag ed degree.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
that's kind of what I've
And
been
how long
doing.
have you been here?
This is my 7th year here
Awesome.
at Centerpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, as far as I guess the food processing, is that tell us a little bit about that program?
Okay. Well, it's a real unique program. We're the only program in the state of Arkansas that has a custom facility here to actually harvest animals.
Right.
And also we have another side where we actually have a retail shop that we have.
Right.
We're the only school in the state that has a retail permit
Right.
to be able to sell
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
So we kind of have 2 different sides of it. One
Yeah.
side where we have individuals that bring in animals and we process. Students harvest those animals. We process them, freeze them, they pick them up. The other side is we order in product that's been USDA inspected, and we cut those up and get them ready and have a retail sell for the public.
Right.
So,
Let's talk about that process. The retail side, y'all hadn't been involved in that too very long, right?
right. This is our second full school year to have that permit to be able to do that.
Yeah.
When they built the facility here, there was a room that was supposed to be a retail shop, but it was just a storage building
Right.
or room when
Right.
I got here, and we kind of through grant money we were able to buy the coolers and the smoker and everything we need for,
Right.
for
Yeah.
that side. So,
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what was involved in obtaining that FDA approval.
well, we we're our side of our building that's the slaughter side is USDA custom exempt.
Okay.
Which means we have inspectors that come by once a year and inspect
Gotcha.
that. But on the retail side, we had to have the health department involved.
Oh, okay.
And they have their requirements, and so there was a long list of things we had to get ready for that to be approved on
Right.
that side. And
Right.
we got those things done, and then had to go through the process of getting the retail permit, which was not it was not easy.
Sure.
We were. The state said we were at an advantage with since our employees weren't paid.
Oh, okay.
We had an advantage against a grocery store. So
Sure.
we had to
Yeah.
have the educational lawyer say, well, it's a learning process that
Gotcha.
the students go through. It's not really a business
Right.
per se. So
Yeah.
we were able to attain that, and
Yeah.
it's pretty successful.
So what do you do? I guess all the proceeds go back into the
To
program.
the chapter, yes, sir.
Okay.
We pay for our consumables that we use for the process.
Right.
Everything else goes back into the chapter to help pay for what we do with the kids.
I'm sure that you do not keep the meat very long because of just the difference of going to the grocery store and eating hamburger meat. And like
Yeah.
my dad has cows and he didn't do it often, but he had some of his own butcher. But it's just so it tastes so
Right,
much
yeah.
better. I mean, I can't even
Yeah. And we vacuum seal everything, so that's
Yeah.
kind of a different process than the grocery store does. So it
Right.
ends up
Yeah.
half of the product.
yeah. So you guys probably do really well with
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what kind of hours? I mean, does the retail?
Well, the retail shop, the thing about it is there's only so many hours in a school day,
Correct.
and we have so much other, I have so many other things going on that we can't be open all the time.
Right.
So we try about every 2 weeks to have a sale on Thursday
Okay.
afternoons.
Oh, yeah, that's
Gotcha.
what we try to do.
Okay.
And that, how the school calendar will kind of interfere with that at times.
Right.
But like next Thursday is our next sale that we have.
Right.
So we have them about every 2 weeks.
So how long do y'all? I mean, when you say every Thursday afternoon, you go a couple hours.
2 hours.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
And you probably go through a lot of product, I would
We
imagine.
do. We'll do anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 in sales within that 2 hour.
I
Wow.
can imagine.
Yeah,
I just, yeah.
So what's the top, usually the top seller? that you have?
Sirloin steaks.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
people like those. Ground beef and just whatever we have on
Yeah.
special that week.
So pricing wise, I'm guessing you're pretty competitive.
We're about the same,
Yeah.
as a grocery store.
Right.
Maybe a little cheaper on some things, but the big thing is the way we package that vacuum
Yeah.
filling it.
Yep.
It stays fresh so much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just can't. It's different. It's totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. So your program, kids, what grades?
I can have 9th through 12th graders.
Okay.
in
All
our
right.
program. They have to go through our foundation course first
Mm-hmm.
as an 8th or 9th grader. That's kind of every student that takes ag goes through that foundational course
Right.
first.
Right.
And then once they do that, they can branch out into different areas that they want to go to.
Okay.
So how many head of cattle do you guys have?
Well, our school farm, actually, we don't really have any cattle
Okay.
right now. There's
Okay.
some that we have that are projects for kids, but the
Gotcha.
farm doesn't actually own.
Okay.
We have a few hair sheep,
Okay.
but that's kind of where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything takes money. So
So
Yeah. Yeah.
how big is your herd of sheep over there?
right now we've got like 10 ewes. It's
Okay.
not
Yeah.
a real big,
Yeah.
not a real big herd.
So with the sheep, are those for show animals or is it?
No, those are just commercial
gotcha.
commercial animals and that we just raise. There's a sale that happens in Hope every month.
Mhm.
We can sell lambs at or
Okay. All right. I got you. So do you? I guess is that for teaching purposes
Yes,
too?
sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
How to shear and all that stuff.
right, yeah. And which we have a show side of animals where
Okay,
they
yeah.
with the students buy those projects and we shear them there.
Okay. I got you. Shearing a sheep. I have told you everything I know about a sheep. That's it.
You know more than I know.
Yeah, yeah. So, living on the farm over there, so I guess that's got to be almost a 24/7 kind of thing. For
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. I leave school and go to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a lot, especially during our our show seasons,
Mm-hmm.
which we're starting now, getting projects for this season. So
Right.
it'll be busy from here till November.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I guess fair.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
so-
And we have shows during the summer that we go to on
Oh,
the
yeah.
weekends too.
Yeah.
so.
Now, where are those at? The ones
They're
in
all
the-
throughout the state,
got
and we at our school barn we'll host a couple of shows during the summer.
Oh, okay.
So I like
Yeah.
those because they're right in the backyard. When we
Yeah.
get done with those, I'm already home.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
we go to Fayetteville to some shows though, so a little bit further of a drive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, as far as I know, the kids prep the animals, but I guess are you teaching them to? I guess what are some other things? I guess they're learning.
Well,
besides-
to me the main thing with our show program and any show program is we don't do that for money. Like you usually don't come out
Right.
on it, but it is the whole process of a kid learning responsibility to take care of a project. Because they're there a couple times a day.
right.
Yeah.
Feeding it. Then they have an exercise program, a training program
Okay.
they'll do
Yeah.
with those animals. So they build that relationship, and it's a training, that they do that teaches responsibility. It's also a family. Like most of our kids, their whole families will be there when they
Gotcha.
they do
Yeah.
that. So
Right.
it keeps them from getting into a lot of other things that kids might
Right.
get in. Teenagers might get
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
It gives them
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
avenue to do
Yeah.
things.
So, back in high school, I mean, when obviously you said you were involved in it, was teaching always the route you felt like you were going to take, or?
No, I didn't. I really didn't.
Right.
I didn't really want to be
Yeah.
that, but it just being involved, and after I got out,
Mhm.
and that just kind of fit with where I was in my life.
Right.
That's where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. So, how many kids you got in your program now?
far as on the food science side,
Mm-hmm.
I've got about 35 kids in that group, and then I've got
Right.
about 15. I teach a farm management class
Right.
where we go over to the farm most days, and I've got about 15 in there.
So what all's involved in the farm management piece of it?
That's a class we'll go over, and we'll the farm animals we'll take care of during that period. We'll feed them during
Okay,
that time.
yeah.
If we've got to move around pens, or
Mm.
we have a judging contest here, and we had to arrange the barn in a different way, so we had to take down
Right.
pens, put pens back up.
Gotcha.
So that's what we use that time for.
Okay. Yeah.
And mowing,
Yeah,
weed eating,
yeah,
things.
gotcha.
We'll start with that. So,
Yeah. All the fun stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah. Yeah.
So, we were talking earlier about the community and how involved, with some of the programs they are. How important is the community for what you do?
It's very important. The farm that is actually it's not owned by the school. It's owned by a nonprofit, Caddo Career Consortium is what it's called.
Okay, yeah.
And they own that 98 acres of land over there, and we have a use agreement with them.
Right.
But they also were able, through that nonprofit, to get a large grant to be able to construct the barn over there. It's about a $750,000 facility altogether. Wow. And through the Odes Foundation, we were able to get a grant for that. So that support on that side is tremendous for us to be able to be successful.
Yeah. So, and I guess, the kids are involved. I mean, like you're saying, even with the maintaining of some of that as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Especially our kids that keep their projects over there throughout the year. They'll be involved with helping keep the barn straightened up and maintain the way it needs to be throughout the season. Yeah.
So I mean, as far as crops, that kind of stuff.
We have been able to purchase some equipment that we plan on, and Mr. Finley is more involved in the plant side of it.
Right.
To be able to plant a large garden there this summer is our plan. Yeah. We have strawberries planted over there now.
Man, well, they didn't make it. We
somebody,
heard that story.
Somebody forgot to cover them.
Yeah. It's a learning process.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Exactly.
We won't name any names.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as far as that piece of it, how much land is set aside for the gardening piece?
We've got some plots out there. I think I can't remember the exact footage. It's a pretty large, plot that we want to use this year. It's part of pasture right now, but we'll use it for that.
Right. So, any other classes or anything that you teach, or just strictly the ag stuff here?
Yeah, that's we do the food processing, the farm management, and then we have a 4-H group that's kind of outside of the FFA spectrum, but it's for those younger kids that are not in 8th grade yet that want to be involved with the program.
So let's talk about 4-H for a minute, and I guess a couple of questions. Number one, how important of a feeder program do you think that is?
I think for us it's very important. Now some ag teachers they're enemies with the 4-H. They don't want that's something else, but. The way I look at it is that if we can get those kids involved when they're younger, because they can start at 5 years old, and that's young.
Yeah.
But we get them involved when they're younger. That'll help whenever they get in their teens to try to keep them in the program.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's so many. We're fortunate. Our school has a lot of opportunities for kids.
Right.
But they can't be involved in everything.
Right.
And so that if we can try to get them involved when they're younger, get them active in doing ag stuff. Once they get to be an 8th grader, it will encourage them to be involved in our program. So it's very important.
So what kind of things in 4-H do you teach them on a basic level that might get them thinking, hey, ag is something I want to get involved in?
We try to meet each month, and we'll have some sort of program that month, and it may be a craft. We did for Valentine's Day. We did a community service thing where we did cards to go to the nursing home.
Oh wow! Okay.
So there's different outreaches like that. There's a lot of there's similar things that we do in ag, but younger kids can do it. So they can judge and things like that as a younger kid.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you got any funny stories for us? Anytime you're dealing with kids, crazy things happen. So.
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of you can't really share some things what happen with kids.
Yeah.
But they do, and I'll tell you, I'll be honest to tell you, I'm not a young kid. I'd rather be around teenagers.
Right. Yeah.
My wife works in pre-K, and she loves it, and we've got 4 younger kids, and it's definitely a calling to be a primary teacher.
Yeah. Oh, that was not my calling.
No, I can't.
I was secondary also when I taught.
So, but they're funny. They'll say anything.
It's whatever pops in there. Yeah. It's kind of like her. That's how she does me.
I mean, sometimes that's true. Yeah. Most of the time that's.
So how old are y'all's kids?
We have a 10 and a 9-year-old, and then a 6 and a 17-month-old.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yes, we have
Little
Yeah.
little one, huh?
So
Yes, ma'am.
That's-
you got a couple of farm hands in there. sounds
Yes,
like.
they're starting to get where they're worth something. You know,
Yeah, that's right.
Be able to use them. To
Yeah,
do things.
earning their keep, huh?
Tour
Yes.
time,
Yeah,
tour
yeah.
time, yeah.
So are they bent that way toward farm life?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I say. And we don't have video games in our house. We have a barn to go to.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
what
that's a
we
good
do.
plan. I
So,
kind of like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I take it they're all here at Centerpoint, the
Yes,
ones
sir.
in the
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. They participate in any sports, anything like
They're
that?
both of our bigger kids are 9 and 10-year-old. They're both in Pee Wee basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
And then my youngest one's in a small league they do for kindergartners here.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
they
Well,
do
good.
that,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
Well, good.
yeah.
I tell you, Centerpoint, we were driving in, and of course, we come in from Arkadelphia where the office is, going the back way, and wasn't paying attention, and it plugged in Centerpoint School, and it took us to the old elementary.
Right.
And I was like, man. So we had to go back up and through the round square, as I like to
Right.
call it, But I'd almost forgotten that elementary was out there,
Yes.
And then I think, I'm an old Cutter guy, so I still remember Amity from back in the day. But, I mean, this is really a nice spot. It's a great school system. It's
Yes.
got great facilities out here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just a nice school setting out here. I mean, I think a lot of great things going for you out here.
Right. It's and say the community support overall for our school district, not just our ag program. I think we've got great community support
Right.
for the school.
Yeah. So, have another job before you came here?
Yes, sir. I was at Malvern, ag
Oh,
teacher at
okay.
Malvern before I came here.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
taught ag up there.
Yeah.
Awesome. I graduated from Malvern. Went
Yes.
K-12.
It's
That was a
all-
long time ago, though.
Yeah.
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 It's definitely different, different setting because it's a school that's got a bigger
Mhm.
population, and you're
Yeah.
in town. It's not as rural as what this is.
Yeah,
but-
that's actually where I did my student teaching. I mean, it's career too for me. But believe it or not, we student taught at the same time, and
Yeah.
we're the same age. And
No, that's
look,
not
Look
true.
how look how working
know-
with her has aged
Right.
me.
Yeah.
Oof, man, I could tell you, man.
you
talking about-
you got me by 7 or 8,
Oof,
I
man.
think, at least.
So,
Maybe
but yeah.
15.
Yeah, matter of fact, we were in Malvern just last week. But
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, it's totally different settings and surroundings. But yeah, kids are kids. At the
Yes,
end of the day, is
yeah.
what I found out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
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 So, I mean, do you have maybe perhaps a favorite part of the job that you do, or I mean, do you
Well,
prefer one over the other?
It's all. I mean, I enjoy all of it. I have a different. I'm the only person in the state that does. Has this job. that
Right,
does,
yeah.
The harvesting thing, and it's it is different. I like the farm, but I really like the relationships that I make with kids and
Absolutely.
families.
Yeah.
It's just different. I was unfortunately when I graduated from college, there was no Agri jobs really open.
Right.
Right.
So I had to
Yeah.
teach math for the
Yeah.
first, and
Yeah.
once you get certified in something, they won't take it off your license.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
That's
own it,
right. Yeah.
But it's a totally different relationship than
Right.
a math teacher might
Yeah.
have with a student than an ag teacher.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah.
get to know that kid and that
Mhm.
kid's that family
Yeah.
a lot more closely than you would in
Sure.
a setting from a regular core teacher.
Yeah.
And that's what I really enjoy about my job.
Yeah.
Right.
We have you have more of a friendship with the families
Sure. Yeah.
than you would.
Yeah. I was superintendent at Fountain Lake before I had this job, and Carol Mercer out there. We, the same thing. I'd had that discussion with him one time, but I can remember him going to the state fair, dragging a trailer out
Yeah.
there, and spending that kind of time with them, and
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
with those show
Yep.
animals and that kind
Yep.
of stuff. So
Yeah.
in the summer,
It's year
Yeah.
round.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a different relationship, and but at the end of the day, I mean that's one of the most important pieces of
Yes,
this
sir.
business
Yes.
is
Yeah.
establishing those relationships, and a lot of times, we talk about the sports and this and that, but I mean you're hitting a whole separate group of kids out there.
Yes, sir.
And I mean everybody has their niche, and some of these
That's right.
kids, I think it's kind of cool to see these kids get to do their thing and shine as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, hopefully we'll get to take a little walk around here in a bit. We're looking
Yeah.
forward to that. As far as, some of the things we like to ask folks, what do you do when you're not, I mean, it sounds like this is all you do. So do you have some stuff, hobbies that
Well, honestly, I don't really have a lot of hobbies.
Yeah.
I also pastor a church.
oh, wow.
At Emmett. So
Yeah.
so between pastoring a church and doing this job, there's not really a lot of.
So
I don't
no-
play a lot of golf,
So,
or anything
yeah.
like that. So
I don't either unless there's a windmill or a clown's
Right,
mouth
right.
involved,
Yeah.
So, Emmett, where is Emmett?
right outside of Hope.
Oh, okay. Yeah, know exactly where you're talking about. I know I've seen, the area, the sign or whatever. How long have you been a pastor?
I've been there 8 years as
Wow.
a pastor, but I've been in some sort of ministry since '99. So.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I mean, a lot of parallels, do you think, between, pastoring at church, I guess, as far as that, and teaching as far as being a calling?
I think both of those are calling.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know there's a lot of pastors that are teachers also.
Right. Oh,
you know.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's very, very similar in
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
And you might deliver a different type of message,
Sure.
but it's
Right.
still the
Yeah.
relationship building between people that matters in both jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
and I would say honestly that the majority of teachers will tell you that teaching is truly a calling. I mean,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I
I
told you
agree with
this
that.
career too for me, and it was through radio was my first profession, but it was through. And matter of fact, it was when a friend of mine was the fax teacher or home ec back then teacher at Glenwood. She would invite me down to do career day, with radio and then Red Ribbon Week and at different schools and stuff. And that was kind of, I really felt like God put me in front of kids, and then there came that point, okay, you've had your chance at it, you've had fun. Now it's, this is a door I want you to walk through. So, so definitely those parallels of the calling are there.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
See,
And
now I
like
guess-
teaching, I really never expected to be
Yeah.
a pastor either. That wasn't something
Right.
I'd wanted,
Sure.
would really,
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that I would want to choose something like that.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
but see, Darren gets to do radio now. Look
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and-
sort of.
but-
It's
but-
kind of like it.
But,
Yeah.
but the other parallel, I think, is just the fact that you're making a difference, a deep difference in
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
So and,
Yeah, and that there's definitely other career paths you could do that would you would probably
Oh, right.
make more money, and
Right.
Yeah.
different things. But
yeah,
it's about on my side, it's about raising your own family the way that you think that you
Yeah.
need to,
yeah,
and then influences other families and children
Right.
while you're doing it.
yeah, and that's what I always told we have one son, and thank goodness, he's him and his wife are out of school and on their own, that kind of thing, and that's what I always told him. I said, faith and family first. Find your passion, make a difference, and stay humble. And if you can do that, man, hey, I'm good with it. So, and it really boils down to being that simple. And sometimes I know, like you're saying, we can get caught up in the minutia of money or something else.
Right.
Stuff.
Yes,
Stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah.
that
And
is
forget the reason that we're here.
that. Exactly.
Share and show the
So,
love
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
As we're going.
And so as we wrap this thing up, one of the things that we're trying to get out there and get the message to, would-be teachers. What advice would you give them if they're thinking about becoming a teacher? What would you give somebody that's out there thinking about wanting to be a teacher?
Well, I would say that find someone that you can relate to that's in the profession already.
Right.
As a mentor or just a friend.
Right.
I'm very fortunate, and ag teachers are a little bit different because I can tell you the ag teacher. I know Carol Mercer.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we know each other because
Right.
we're around each other so much. It's not like I couldn't tell you the math teacher at Fountain Lake.
Right.
But we kind of have that group, that connected group that's together, and just having that type of support to
Right.
find someone.
Yeah.
And to make sure that make sure you like kids.
Right.
For
Yeah.
You gotta like
Yeah.
kids,
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you might could share stories like I could. I think I had some teachers when I was younger that didn't like kids.
Oh, for sure.
They were just there.
Yeah.
But I think having that, that you have that relationship and you want to make a difference.
Right.
Yep.
In kids' lives and
Right.
and just kids today need someone like that.
Yeah.
They do.
That's there.
100%.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you, I've been told some things by
Yep.
students that are, it's heartbreaking.
It is
Yeah,
what
heartbreaking.
sure.
kids go through.
It is
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
But I
Yeah.
believe if you're the one they're willing to open up to,
Right.
you've made a impact
Yeah.
in that life,
Yeah.
Yep.
and that's something
Yep.
you know that
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
you can't put a value.
Yeah.
At all.
Money
You
value on it.
cannot. You
So-
cannot at all.
Yeah. And sometimes they just need that person to say, you know what, hey, you can get through this. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
and it's incredible sometimes that, I've told people this before too, you hear people say, well, if you get in there and you make the difference in one kid's life, you've done something. But I mean, I've been blessed enough that I've had several come back and say, and it wasn't even things that I thought about
Right.
at the
Yeah.
time that even meant anything.
Yep.
And so that's the thing that's been kind of rewarding is just that these kids, they're always looking, they're always searching, and like you say, they come to you even when you don't even think they're coming to you.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's I
So
would agree.
rewarding.
Yeah,
So
it really
rewarding.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, thanks for having us out here. We appreciate it.
All right. Well,
Yes.
thank
Keep
y'all
up
for
the good
coming.
work,
I
man.
enjoyed
You're
it,
knocking it
yeah.
out here.
Okay. Nice
So,
to meet y'all.
All
Nice
right.
to meet you.
Okay, that's going to wrap it up for session 2, Spilling the Tea at Studio D here at Centerpoint.